Yo, what's good? This your boy Derek Branch, Sports View 360, covering the New Orleans Saints tonight. And tonight, I'm going to go over what went down yesterday evening, Sunday, between the New Orleans Saints as they traveled on the road to play the Los Angeles Rams, and it resulted in another loss for the Saints as expected. This time by a score of 34-10. Now, outside of the loss, it was also the debut of 2026 second round pick number 40, Tyler Shuck. Everybody, got their wish. The fan base, the media, YouTubers. That's media as well, but YouTubers, podcasts, blogs. Everybody wanted to see Tyler Shuck play because they felt as though, I'm not gonna say everybody, but a significant portion of the Saints fan base felt as though if you're gonna take a quarterback at 40, then why not? You don't have a viable option right now. Why not put this guy out there and see what he has? And they put him out there yesterday. Um, from based on what I saw, what I observed out of Tyler Shook, he played okay. He had some good roles in the game throughout the game. Now, I'll be honest, he didn't throw the ball behind the wide receiver like Spencer Rattler did. A lot of those throws were on time, but he also has moments out there where he had looked like a rookie quarterback, and that should be expected because Tyler Shough is a rookie, and you're playing against the Los Angeles Rams. And I thought he felt. I thought to me, I felt as though he handled it well. He wasn't. There was a lot of people leading up to this game a few weeks ago. There were a lot of people that felt as though that Tyler Shuck shouldn't have started yesterday's game because playing against a team like the Rams would destroy his confidence. And I think what I took away from that game is it didn't. Give him some experience against a really good football team. And if we're afraid, if the team is that afraid to start a rookie quarterback against a football team like the Rams, then why you take him? I mean, it can't be that bad. I mean, I don't see how one bad game, one blowout game could destroy a rookie quarterback's confidence. And if that's the case, then maybe he shouldn't be in the National Football League as a quarterback. You know, so I thought he handled it pretty well, man, given the circumstances of the situation. But outside of that, the Saints roster is just not good. It's not a good football team. It's not. Both lines are really bad right now. On the offensive line, you got two stalwarts that I believe you can build around: Tyler Fawanga, Calvin Banks. Everybody else could be replaceable. I think you got to start looking at the replacement for Eric McCoy. Not get rid of him this off season, but start finding his replacement. Defensive line, I like what I'm seeing out of Chase Young. You got Chase Young, Carl Granderson. Outside of that, they got to start rebuilding. It just the Saints roster is bad. It's far worse than I thought it was going to be. And when you have a team with that many veterans on it, the Saints should not have been that bad. But maybe I miscalculated. You know, I'm going into the season after Derek Carr retired. I felt as though they could win at least 7 games, go 7-10. You know what I'm saying? Hang around a few games, you win some, you lose some. I thought the offense would be, up to speed by now, but we just continue to see the same type of offense since the season started. And it's not gotten any better. You know what I'm saying? I think the most points they ever put up is like 26 points, 20 points in the game. They have now. I don't think this offense. It hasn't. This offense has not. This team has not reached 30 points this season at all. That's how bad it has gotten for the New Orleans Saints. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was a 7-win team. 7-win team at the most. At most, maybe you get to 8 wins. I thought that was overachieving. I thought that would be great if they could go 8 wins in Kellen Moore's first season. But look like they might not even get 5 wins. You know, Saints might not win another game. You know what I mean? They got I think Carolina next after the bye week, and I think that's not gonna be an easy game. Because Carolina won yesterday against the Green Bay Packers, and they've been playing a lot better compared to previous years where around this time, the same time frame, you know. So I think this is a team, the roster right now is just not good. It's not good. It's the worst, one of the worst in the NFL right now. There is some pieces on this team that you can build around, but it's few and far between. You know, I'm not even gonna give huge praise to the. I'm not gonna give a lot of praise to the draft picks for 2026 because only out of all those guys that we've seen so far, only one guy has really only two players in that draft has really flashed so far, and that's Jonas Sanker and Calvin Banks. You know, we still haven't seen a whole lot of Danny Stutzman. Vernon Broughton is out for the year. Quincy Rollins showing flashes here and there, but outside of that, I still think that's some. I mean, I still have my concerns about the draft class though. Even though they found two potential cornerstone players in that draft. You know, because you need a guy. You're gonna need a guy like Danny Stutzman to eventually take over for Demario Davis. You know, I still think you have question marks at cornerback. You know, one week Kool-Aid McKinstry looks like a shut down corner. And then for another 2 or 3 weeks, he's getting toast. And I think yesterday against the Rams, I believe Kool-Aid had like 2 touchdowns thrown on him yesterday. 2 touchdowns. Alontae Taylor, where you want to put him at, on the outside, or you can put him in a slot. To me, to me, Alontae Taylor is better suited for playing the slot, being a slot cornerback. You know, um, on the offensive side, the running game, we don't have none whatsoever. Saints cannot run the football. Alvin Kamara, I think the reason why he got benched yesterday was because of that fumble. You know, so I felt as though that was the right thing to do. You know, players, messing up, not catching passes, fumbling the ball, benching. So good move by Kellen Moore. Um, Wide receivers, Chris Olave I think he had 57 yards yesterday. 57 yards receiving over 3 catches. Rashid Shaheed had 5 catches for 68 yards. So the receivers weren't too bad. Demario Davis is still a really good linebacker. 13 tackles yesterday, 4 solo. Man, look, I wish we could get. I mean, I hope we could get the Saints could get something on the trade during the trade deadline for Demario Davis. But don't look like that's gonna happen. But other than that, man, it's just where we're at right now. The team is just not that good, man. It's just not that good. Looked like they were showing progress in those first 4 games of the season. Three out of those 4 games of the season start off like they were showing some progress. They were fighting in games, and now it's just showing like they just regressed. So we'll see how it all play out, man. But I'm willing to give Kellen Moore. I've said this in the past though, but I'm willing to give Kellen Moore a flyer this season. I really will give him a freebie, a mulligan. Because I can see that he's clearly operating outside of his comfort zone based on what I've seen in these post game pressures or whenever he does the interview with the media, just kind of these a lot of coaches speak, a lot of his responses are scripted. So I'm gonna give him a mulligan, because the circumstances right now are terrible. But if this continues the following year, if this stuff continues next year, and he's up there saying, "I gotta do better. I gotta be better in the red zone. I gotta do this," he's still saying having the same type of excuses. I think the Saints should cut ties with Kellen Moore after year 2, man. Not this year, but next year. You know, um, I didn't. I think a lot of people, the reason why a lot of people are disappointed right now, they know that the year was going to be bad, but they felt as though with this many veterans on this team, the Saints should be performing a lot better, and also the team is at even though it has a lot of veterans on the team, there's a lot of young players on this team, and it felt as though these guys would have been showing a lot of growth by now, and that's not clearly not happening with this draft class. But a significant portion of the draft class we have right now. The Von Vele trade from the Denver Broncos is looking bad. By the week, you give up two draft picks for that guy that left you with like I think right now the Saints because of that trade, Saints only have like 5 draft picks right now going to 2026 draft. So you just I don't know what the plan was, the main intent of making that trade, but it's not working out right now. You know what I mean? So it's just not good right now, man. And the crazy thing about it is that the Rams, it could have been a lot worse. That score could have been a lot worse. Because I felt as though they kind of showed some mercy in this game. 'Cause the Rams could have did far worse in this matchup. Matthew Stafford went 24 of 32, 281 yards, 4 touchdowns. On the ground, Kyron Williams had 25 carries, 114 yards, 1 touchdown. Puka Nakul, he had 7 receptions for 95 yards, 1 touchdown. So they to me they kind of you know held back just a little, pulled back just a little on the Saints because it was getting out of hand. It was. Um, like Kyron Williams had averaged 4.6 yards a carry. It's just even Devontae Adams had 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams had 5 catches, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. Terrence Ferguson had 2 catches, 54 yards. It's just bad, man. Like every team that the Saints play are having big games, pretty much recently. And if you look at the remainder of their schedule, I know a lot of people are pointing at this schedule at the back end of the Saints schedule, and they feel as though that some relief could come, but in those games that they play. But to me, it ain't a guarantee, man. To me, it's not a guarantee that the Saints win another game, no regardless of who the opponent is. It just ain't. You know what I'm saying? Carolina, I know Carolina's not going to be a pushover. Carolina's a lot better than what they were last season. Um, you play in Miami, but Miami can have one of those games where they put a beat down on you like they did the Atlanta Falcons not too long ago. They're up and down. They're just too up and down. So it depends in that matchup. It depends on which Miami Dolphins team that you're gonna get. Then you got Atlanta. That could go either way as well. But on paper, roster wise, Atlanta is better than you, better than the Saints. And they on paper, the Atlanta Falcons should blow out the New Orleans Saints. But with divisional games, you never know. The Jets, the Jets got a better roster than the Saints, but that could go either way. Titans, the only one I see on here right now, man, to close out the year is the Tennessee Titans. Because I think the Falcons could sweep the Saints twice this year. Could beat the Saints twice this year. I think the Bucks could probably sweep the Falcons. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could sweep the Saints this year. I think the Panthers could do it. They might sweep. They might split with the Panthers, but I doubt it. The Saints could go two, might win another game. That's it. Might. And that's a toss up. So it's tough sledding right now. To me, the best way to deal with this right now, if you're a Saints fan, you're a fan of the New Orleans Saints, the best way to deal with this rebuild is just take it year by year, one year after another. Even this season, just go through it. You know, and just pay attention to how things play out because I've seen a lot of people point to 2027, 2028 as where they believe the Saints are going to make the jump to being contenders again because the cap situation will get a whole lot better compared to what it is right now. But my thing is, that's not a guarantee. Nothing in NFL in regards to the future is guaranteed. I don't care how good, how bad, how much good, how much better your salary cap situation is going to be. It does not guarantee you that this team is going to be competing for a division title or Super Bowl championships in the future. It doesn't because, and we're being honest, since Sean Payton and Drew Brees has left the organization, Mickey Loomis has not demonstrated that he can put out a competitive roster, and that's with the salary cap stuff that he does with the team. So nothing's guaranteed. Look at this stuff. Take the stuff year by year. Take it one Sunday at a time. Because I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not. To me, Kellen Moore right now, like everything he's done, his offense, his philosophy, his grade is. If I had to give Kellen Moore a grade right now on this season, I give him my I, and that I stands for incomplete because everything right now in regards to Kellen Moore is incomplete. We don't know. We really don't know what type of offense he's going to run. He's trying to run. This defense, I'm pretty sure, I'm confident that Brandon Staley will not be here beyond after next season. I think they'll be switching out defensive coordinators. Quarterback situation, that to me that's still up in the air. Me personally, I don't think the Saints starting quarterback of the future is on this roster right now. But I hope Tyler Shuck proves me wrong. But to me, it's an incomplete right now. His grade is an I, which stands for incomplete, because we really don't know what Kellen Moore has in his team right now. We really don't know, and hopefully we'll find that out in the off season and on into 2026. But I'm looking now for him. For me, for Kellen Moore, I'm looking for growth as he go into next season. Is his team going to look the same? Is this team going to play? I know the team won't look the same, but in regards to personnel, but will they play the same compared to this season? And if they do, Saints need to make a coaching change ASAP. After 2 years, they need to. But this year, I'm willing to give him a flyer for right now, because that's how. Now, I'm not saying I'm not making an excuse for him, because he has made, to me, some baffling decisions that I question, that I wonder about his coaching style. I'm not really too hung up in him not being a yeller or anything like that, but because I think if you win on the field, you put out a winning product, nobody's gonna care how reserved you are as a head coach or how your philosophy is. But you're not winning, you combined with bad decisions, questionable things like trading, giving away draft picks for Devon Vele and not utilize him the right way, not utilizing Alvin Kamara the right way. I still think Alvin Kamara can be a key contributor for a football team, for a contender. You're just not utilizing him the right way, especially at this age right now. I think that's gonna, people gonna have their doubts, and that's just what it is right now in today's climate in sports. But that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. What are your thoughts on the Saints roster right now? Do you feel as though the roster is in far worse shape than you projected, when the season started, or this is what you thought the Saints roster was going to be um before the season getting kicked off? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm out. Have a blessed night.